The key to any embroidery project is properly hooping your fabric and stabilizer together. When all possible, hoop your stabilizers with your fabric. There is a time and place where you can't. If your fabric is a corner of a napkin or a cuff or something much smaller, then you're hooping just the stabilizer. Notice here I actually have 2 layers of tearaway stabilizer because I'm going to be working with a cotton fabric. Something else that I do use a lot is some type of spray adhesive, something that will lightly stick these layers together. I would recommend kind of making yourself a little spray adhesive station that's away from your sewing machine, so not this close. That way no extra spray will get over the edge of it. Now a lot of people just only use 1 layer of stabilizer. Believe me, you get strength with numbers. So definitely take the time, always have 2 layers. When people come in and say, oh, my embroidery has wrinkles around it, usually I look on the back side and there's only 1 layer. So 2 layers is what you want to get started with. This is a Mettler Web Bond, but there's 505 spray. Just pick something that's not going to gum up your needle. And notice that I sprayed on my stabilizer, not my fabric. It's kind of like a Post-it note now. Now everything's going to stay kind of adhered together while I go to hoop our fabrics together. So next thing I want you to identify is that on your hoop, you have on the outer hoop a bracket. We'll keep that over here on the left side because that's how it's going to attach to the machine. Down at the corner, there is an arrow, or down at the bottom, an arrow. And then also on the inner frame, there is also an arrow. So when you see these 2 arrows, they need to line up. That makes sure that everything is coming in together. Even makes your template line up. As long as you can read the word Bernina here, that also makes it so everything is lined up together. So if I did need to have this perfectly hooped, I would draw a line horizontal and vertical on my fabric. And then I could go ahead and use this to make sure I could have everything hooped straight. But for just today, I'm going to go ahead and set my inner hoop on my fabric and stabilizer. And then I'm going to actually put my outer hoop over here. But before I do it, I do need to open this screw. This is brand new, so I haven't used it before. Loosen the screw way, 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 way open. And this is going to make it so as it opens up, all the areas will can slide in here. Now notice how I'm kind of having to open that and pull it open. That is going to need to happen while you're getting this all in. And so you'll see me kind of pull it off the edge of the table to get that. Now another thing that I like to do is usually stand up while I'm hooping because I can get a better downward pressure as I push my inner hoop in. So as I put the top in first, okay, I'm going to kind of push there. And then right now I can't really push that lower part in. So I'm going to slide it off the edge of the table towards me. And then I can just, because my hoop is so loose, I can just pull that bottom part open and get the whole thing to go in. Now it is so loose right now, nothing is really staying. So I need to just go ahead and start to tighten up that screw. And then when I do so, that's going to make the hoop tight on the fabric. So there's kind of a happy medium here. We don't want the fabric pulled or stretched in the hoop. That doesn't work. Because what happens if you put a lot of stitching on a stretched piece of fabric? Well, once you take it out of the hoop, everything kind of collapses and then it gets all puckery around the outside. We're going to avoid that. The spray adhesive should also help avoid that quite a bit. So now all I'm doing is just getting this nice and tight, and actually I don't even really need to do much. The last thing I'm going to do is you're going to see that I'm going to take my thumbs on the inside of the hoop and push just a little past flush. So the inner hoop is just coming out a hair past the outer hoop here, and on all kind of 4 corners, not that we have corners, but that's nice because as we go to tighten this, everything tightens nice and even around this edge, just bringing that nice and pinched. And that way our fabric is not going to pull in as we stitch. Now, if there is a little bubbles, don't worry about that. That's really, we just need everything to be tight between or pinched between these hoops. And that's exactly what we need to do. All right, so next I want to show you how we set up the machine and get the hoops all attached properly so the machine knows which hoop is on, and we can get set up and without any trouble start embroidering quickly.